Hello, this is Math 10C, Unit 3 on measurement, and this is Mr. Chang. So this lesson is about measurement, and then you'll be given a formula sheet, which is here. And this formula sheet show you all the unit conversions that you need from imperial system, which is the British system, in which you have like miles, yard, and feet, and inches. And then you also have the SI system, the international standard system with like meters, kilometers, like kilograms and liters. Those are the standard unit we use in science as well. Okay, and then you're going to convert between the two. So for this lesson, all the numbers I just copy from this formula sheet. You don't need to memorize it. Okay, so just refer to this formula sheet. And also the second part of this lesson is the all this formula for different shape, spheres, cone, like square, base, pyramid, and all the like the surface area and the volume. So I don't have example for this, and also we don't have exercise for this. This is very straightforward. You just plug it in the formulas, and then you find out what's the answer. So that's it. Now let's move on to the lesson. So the lesson today is mainly about unit conversion, converting from one unit to another unit. Like we have conversion within the SI system, and then we have conversion between the imperial system and between the two systems. And then finally, we have the square system, square units and cubic units. There's some exercise in the back here for you to do. All right, let's look at some example. So prior knowledge. To convert between one unit to another, we need to work with fractions. So let's say A over B times B over C times C over D. Well, very easy, right? When you put them all together, you can just cross out, whenever there's a numerator, denominator, you can just cross it out. And then the final answer is A over D, right? So very straightforward. So how about like AB over C times like B, C over D times like D over A squared, for example. So what does this equal to? So again, numerator, denominator, you can cancel out, right? And A squared, you can cancel one of the A. And then the B, they stay together. So the final result is B squared over A. So when we use this, we work with fractions and usually work with numbers or variables. Now, when we do unit conversions, we apply this idea to converting units. Okay, you'll see in a minute. All right, so let's look at the first example. First types of question, converting between the SI system. So there are two ways. So this SI system is very good because it's base 10. So when you convert from one unit to another unit, you're just moving decimal place. Right? It's either like 10 times more or like 10 times less. It's just moving decimal place. So this unit number line help you to determine how many decimal places you need to move. So the what's in the middle is the standard unit. So for length is meters, for weight is gram, and then for volume is liter. And then this is like deca, hexa. Those are less common, but like kilometers, mega, giga, those are scientific standard units. So you're familiar with them. Okay, so this is milli, micro, and nano. And this is a deci and centi. All right, so how do you convert it? So let's say I have 3.45 centimeters. You identify your beginning units and you want to end at kilometers. So you have moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have moved 5 decimal place. Okay, so this is what you do. 3.45, you move 5 decimal place. So I'll put it here. Starting at here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will end up here. So you fill the rest with zeros. So that's my answer, 0.0000345. You have moved 5 decimal place to the left. The ruler, the number line, if you move to the left, then you move to the left. If you move to the right, you move to the right. And centimeters is a smaller unit than kilometers. So from centimeters to kilometers, it gets smaller. The number gets smaller. All right, 200 megagram to microgram. So from here, all right, so to here. So you start from the left and move to the right. So you move to the right, your number get bigger. All right. So you move how many? 3, 6, 9, 12. So the answer is you just add 12 zeros. That's the decimal point. You move 12 zeros. So that's the answer. Okay, so in scientific notation, you can write 2 times 10 to power of. So there are 12 zeros here. Adding those two, they'll total 14 zeros. So this is how you use the unit number line. Now, however, for the rest of this lesson, I'm going to use something called the unit analysis. This is very useful and used in apply to any situation, so I'd rather stick to one method. And also it will be helpful for your other scientific courses like chemistry and physics. When you're doing calculation and then when you need to convert between units, you just use unit analysis. So this is how it goes. Unit analysis basically is including all the numbers and the units in your calculation, and then you're converting between the units. I'll show you. For example, the first one, 3.45, you write 3.45 centimeters. That's the beginning. You want to end with kilometers, and then you check from centimeters to kilometers, what units are what units go in between, all right? So you multiply with, remember the fractions, you want to get rid of centimeters. So if centimeter is on top, you put in the bottom. And then you put what you want on top. Now you can put kilometers here, but I want to add in the meters there because I know how to convert from centimeters to meters. And then, now I don't want meters, so I put it here. I actually want kilometers. All right, so this is called unit analysis. You put in all the units in between that you need. Put them in fractions. This way, when you converting, you canceling the units you don't want, and then you leaving the units that you want at the end. That's how you convert from unit to the other. Now, for each factors, you want to make them the same. Okay, you look at meters and centimeters. You ask, what's the relationship? You know, 1 meters is 100 centimeters. And here, 1 kilometers is 1,000 meters. So this way, each conversion factor, since the top and bottom are the same, 1 meter is same as 100 centimeters. So basically they are 1, right? This represents 1. Anything multiplied with 1 is just remain the same. But you are converting unit in this process, all right? So this helps you to see whatever on top you multiply. So multiply by 1, so you're not changing it. Anything in the bottom, you divide it. Okay, so in here, to convert 3.45 centimeters to kilometers, you basically divide by 100 and divide by 1,000. So that's how your number gets smaller. So this way, you don't need to remember, do I multiply or divide by how many decimal places, do I move left or right? Sometimes it's just confuse people. By doing this unit analysis, you will get the answer. Okay, so I'll show you more example as we see the next one. Converting between the imperial system. Okay, miles, change from miles to feet. So what do we do? Let's do unit analysis. Start with 1.5 miles. Okay, what do I want? I don't want miles. So my conversion factors, I put miles in bottom. That's something I don't want. What do I want? I want feet. So I'll put feet there. All right. You take out your formula sheet and then you see 1 mile is 5,280 feet. So that's what you use. All right. So you write the following. Okay, you write feet here. And then 1 mile is 5,280 feet. So based on this unit conversion, you check the units, miles and miles cancel out, and left with a feet. So that's what you want. So you know you're doing something right. And then you just put this number in the calculator. And this tells you multiply by 5280. So if it's on top, you multiply. If it's in the bottom, you divide. Right, let's try this next one. Inches, you want to change it to miles. All right. So if you look at the formula sheet, there's no direct conversion between inches to miles. So you can go from inches to feet and then feet to miles. See, I'm doing unit analysis. Okay, inches, feet, and miles. And then now you fit in the number. 1 feet is 12 inches. 1 mile is 5280. So this way, you know to convert between inches to miles, you just keep dividing by 12 and divide by that number, and then you get the answer. Okay, so I just write down the answer is 6676, and I just round up. Okay, so this is how you do. Once again, the unit analysis help you determine do I multiply or divide by certain numbers. All right, now there's another way to do it, which is another kind of question is having mixed units. 100 inches is how many feet and inches? Oh, end up with the same inches. So they want you to see how many feet are there in inches. So you look at the formula sheet. Okay, every 12 inches is 1 feet. So you divide by 12. So you try to divide by 12, and then to see, oh, 8.33. Okay, so there are total, you can have 8 feet, more than 8 feet, but less than 9. So there's total 8 feet there. Okay, and you ask again and then you come back to say, okay, if I have 8 feet, well, 8 feet is how many inches? Well, 8 feet is feet inches. 8 feet is 96 inches. So 100 inches, you take 96 of them and you convert it to 8 feet. So how many inches left? 4 inches left. So that's the answer. So this is involve a little bit of work to convert back and forth. All right. Let's try another example. 1,000 feet. Okay. So 1,000 feet convert to miles, yard, and feet. Okay. Convert to miles. Let's divide by 5280. That's how many miles, how many feet in 1 mile. Well, you can see there's obviously you can fit 1 there, 1 point something. All right. So you can have 1 mile. So after you take away 1 mile, okay, so you have 4720. So this is how many feet left. Yeah, you convert part of it to miles, so they still have so many feet. Well, there are 3 feet per mile, so let's divide that by 3. So if you divide that by 3, is 1573.33. Okay, so there are total 1573 feet, yards that can fit in how many feet? Okay, but there's still some left over. Okay, so if you do some calculation, 1573 yard is actually equal to 4719 feet. So when you convert those number of feet, you're left with 1 feet. Okay, so I hopefully you understand this example. This involves more work for doing this calculation. Now let's move on to converting between 2 different systems. Okay, so once again we unit conversion. Okay, so how can I turn from centimeters to inches? If you use unit conversion, you don't need to worry about do I multiply or divide. You just put it in the right place. Okay, I don't want centimeters, I want inches. Right, the thing you want you put on top. The things you don't want, you make sure you have one on top, one in the bottom, and then they cancel out. And then you look at the formula sheet. 1 inches is 2.54 centimeters. So this way, you know you're dividing. So the answer is 3.94. I round up. Okay, I use this symbol because it's an approximation, but sometimes people don't really pay attention to that. Okay, so 2.3 feet convert to meters. All right, so I'll write down the conversion factors here. All right, you look at the formula sheet. There's no direct conversion between feet and meters. So I'll just go from feet to centimeters and then centimeters to meters. Okay, 1 meters is 100 centimeters. 1 feet is 2.54 centimeters. See, this one, you multiply by 2.54, you divide by 100. By using unit analysis, you don't need to memorize or figure out multiply dividing. It's all there for you in the right place. Okay, so unit analysis, once again, is the way to go. And then you'll find out the answer. Just plug it in. All right, you can also have mixed unit like this. All right, so kilometers per hour is the unit in Canada, or let's convert it into mile per second. Okay, so what happened is I don't want kilometers, put it here. I want miles. I want meters. See, kilometers cancel out, leaving meters. Now I don't want hours. All right, I want second in the bottom. So hours is the bottom. Now I want one on top so that they cancel out, and then I convert to minutes, and then minutes to seconds. See, it will end up in the bottom, so it will always work. And then for each one, 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters, 1 hour is 60 minutes, 1 minute is 60 seconds. So by doing the unit analysis, you will have the number in the right place. This cancel out, this two cancel out. You're left with meter per second. That's what you want. You multiply by 1,000, divide by that. All right. So I will make another video. My video can only last for 15 minutes, so it's almost times. And then I will make another video to just finish up this lesson. Okay, see you in the second videos.